Hey guys, Paul Reddick here. Welcome back to another edition of the Baseball Dads podcast. And today we're going to talk about how your son learns and how to better communicate with him. So I'm going to read to you from the 567 Dad book, Baseball Edition, which is out at 567dad.com. I'm going to read to you from page 84. And this is in this section we go through a few techniques on how to better communicate with your sons. But this is one that you can start using like right now, today. And most of the dads that I've talked to and I've taught this to, it completely changes the way they communicate with their sons. Because it's something that you probably maybe never realized before or even heard before. So let me just read it to you. Know how your son learns. Knowing how your son processes information will make a huge difference in your communication with your son. Here's a trick to see if your son is a hearer, seer, or feeler. Next time you're in a conversation, ask him to tell you what went on at the last game and watch what he does with his eyes. If he looks to the side, he's a hearer. If he looks down, he's a feeler. If they look up, they are seers. If he looks up, ask him, what are you thinking about? If he looks to the side, just say, what's the voice inside your head saying? If he looks down, he's going internal, and you would say, what's going on inside? Tell Dad what you're feeling. Knowing how he processes will help you ask the right questions. Also, knowing which type of learner your son is will help with baseball instruction too. If he's a hearer, he might need more verbal explanation. If he's a seer, he may need to see more videos and pictures. If he's a feeler, he may need more drills or to be put in the right positions, like physically put in the right positions. So this is usually a pretty big eye-opener for dads because a lot of times, and especially as coaches too, we lecture too much. We talk way too much. And sometimes we struggle with players where we're talking to them, and all they need to see is a picture. I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm a seer type learner. If you just show me how somebody does it, and I can do it, right? I remember when I first started to learn to play tennis, it was like a disaster. Like I could not, I was hitting like fly balls. I could not figure out how to get top spin and stuff like that. And I was even working with this coach, and I just could not get the feel. And I'll never forget one day these two kids, I don't know, were 13 or 14 years old, got onto the court next to us, and they started hitting like with top spin. And I saw how they were kind of like just coming over, up and through the back of the ball. I was like, oh, that's it. And like immediately, it just turned on for me. So all the instruction of him demonstrating the stroke, putting me in the positions, dropping the ball, it never did. I needed to see it. I needed to see really what it was in person. Obviously, I had seen people play tennis on TV, but watching it live and watching some younger kids do it, just automatically that light bulb went off. So sometimes when we talk too much, we're going to lose the person who's the seer and the feeler. So now the feeler, you might have to hey, this is where your hands need to be, this is where you need to be, this is the position you need to be, and just put them in that position, and then specifically use drills that will put them in a position to feel. You have to talk to them differently. If they're hearers, which is a very small percentage, because usually hearers are not driven towards sports. So if they're hearers, what they're doing is they're hearing and they're processing. That's why you would ask them, what's the voice that they hear in their head? What's going on inside their head? So just very simply, it's going to be a short podcast because it's a very simple technique. I want you to kind of go out and try it with your son, is you have to just ask them the question and watch where their eyes go, okay? If they turn, that means they're turning, they're auditory, they're hearers, right? If they look down, they're looking internal, they're feelers, right? If they're looking up, they're seers, they're thinking, they're looking at pictures in their head, right? So up, they may need to see pictures, they need to see demonstrations. To the side, they may need lecturing. And also too, people that are hearers, they need to lecture and then they need to process. So you can't like lecture and lecture and lecture and lecture, right? There's got to be a lecture, and then there's got to be a time for them to process a little bit. And if they're down, they're feelers. They need to be put into positions and to have drills that's going to get them the feel of what you want them to do. So head on over to 567dad.com. The book is available. We're giving them away free to you guys. All you got to do is just pay the shipping. Nothing attached to it. No weird stuff. It's yours absolutely free. We'd love for you to get to pick up a copy on it. So, all right, guys. So tell me how that works for you, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks.